Okay, so you've been spending the last couple of weeks watching the Olympics, and I'm sure for some of you, you've been sitting in your recliners. But did you know that sitting in that recliner can be bad for your low back and your neck? Think it's the most comfortable chair in the world? Well, who would have thought that that same chair might be giving you pain for the rest of your life? Stay tuned. Hey, I have a big announcement. I've got a book coming out on September the 1st, 2024. That's going to talk about all the things that I've been talking about in these videos and give you specific stretches that you can do in your body. And you'll use this book like a manual to help you take control of your body, your aches and pains, and solve those things. And you're going to be amazed at how easy some of this is. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please look down below. Subscribe to this channel. I know a lot of you watch the videos and you're not subscribing. I think we've got 88% of the people who are watching the videos don't subscribe. But please subscribe because it does a couple of things. Number one, it alerts you when new videos come out and you can get those videos. And number two, it's going to help me make this channel better and better so that you can get better at taking care of yourself. Have fun. Welcome back to the Muscle Repair Shop, and today I'm going to talk about how the recliner that you love and cherish is actually making you feel older and look older. So let's dive right in. So for most Americans, especially Americans over the age of 50 and in some cases 40, 45, we love to sit in a recliner because we've been told that that recliner is relaxing and it puts us in a great state. Some of them will have little massagers on them. They'll have cup holders on them. They'll have holders for your remote control. In fact, I was just teasing a guy about there was a recliner I saw that you could actually attach it to your sewer and use the bathroom in it. But again, that's a joke, so don't take me serious and don't go look for that. But anyway, the point is that we are sitting longer and longer and longer in reclining positions. In fact, most people are going to sit either in a recliner, their car seat will be in a reclined position. If they sit in a chair that's not a recliner, they'll typically put a pillow behind their low back because they'll complain about back pain and it helps their back feel better. And we're going to get into that later in the video as well. And even the office chairs will recline as well. And so when you're sitting in that recliner for that long a period of time, over time your body adapts to that position. And when you adapt to that position, it's going to make you look 5, 10, 15 years older, and it can cause problems, which we'll discuss later also in the video, on how you walk, how you stand, how much back pain that you get into. So let's dive right into it. So most of the things that I hear from my clients who are over the age of 50 and especially over the age of 60 is they'll come in with low back stiffness. They'll get up out of bed in the morning and their back will hurt, or their neck and shoulders will hurt, or if they stand for long periods of time, their back will start to hurt and they'll need to go somewhere and they'll sit down. All of those things can be contributed to sitting in reclining positions all day long. So, like I said, the top of this video, the recliner is making you look older and making you feel older, but any reclined position is going to do the same thing. So let me explain about that. So the next time that you see a family member or look at yourself in the mirror sitting back in a recliner, look at the positioning of your head, look at the positioning of your legs to your waist, look at the positioning of your knees. And so when you're in that reclined position in a recliner, for instance, with the head being in the position that it is, especially if it has a big fluffy pillow on the back of it, it may feel great, but what happens is that when you get out of that chair, after sitting in it for a while, the muscles on the front of your neck have tightened. And so when you try to sit up straight and hold your head up straight, it becomes really difficult and you'll feel the pain on the back side of your neck. So the longer you sit in that position, the tighter these muscles get here. Now every time you stand up, looking up becomes impossible. And by the end of the day, the muscles in the back of your neck going down between your shoulder blades are just a mess and lots of pain. So sitting in that recliner, having that big pillow to hold your head up, while it feels great and you do that, the downside is you're making the situation worse. On top of that, because most recliners are big fluffy chairs, it's going to cause the shoulders to round in. This is going to cause the muscles on the outside of your chest to tighten, and as it does, it rounds the shoulders in, making the head go in that much farther. So now, after years of sitting in that chair and in those reclined positions, when you stand up, you're going to be looking like a humped up old man or a humped over old woman, and you'll have a difficult time looking up, and before you know it, you'll start to have headaches on the backside of your head or maybe over your eyes. You'll get pain down between the shoulder blades. And like I said in most of my videos, the mistake people make with that is they're going to work on the back of your neck and down between your shoulder blades. And nobody's going to say to you that it's coming from the front side of your body, okay? Now, when you're sitting and looking down in that recliner again, now your waist, that's bent so your legs are more 90 degrees to your torso. That tightens the muscles in the abdominal area, and for most people, their abdominal muscles are weak to begin with, and it also tightens the muscles on the front of your thighs. So now when you stand up, at the waist, you're slightly tilted forward. To keep in mind what we just talked about with your head, which is slightly tilted forward, now the head is cantilevered or leaning much further out in front of your chest, which puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the lower part of your back, the lumbar part of your back. Now these things can lead to stuff like bulging disc, herniated disc, and pinched nerves. And the thing is once you have that, nobody really looks at what really caused that to happen. They see that there's a problem and they understand and have been trained to fix that. But the real thing here is understanding what caused it to happen, because if you just have the surgery or just get the injection and go back to the recliner, you just negated everything that health professional just did for you. Now in that same seated position, go down the body again, look where the knees are bent. Now the knees are bent, which tightens the hamstrings on the back of the leg and tightens the calves on the back of the leg. This is going to affect your ability to stand up straight with your legs. So when you start to walk, your knees are slightly out over your toes. And you have the makings then, and when someone sees you move, of just a tired old man or a tired old lady. And you might be 65. And it's like every day when you go home and get in this chair, I know that it's comfortable, but you're creating a problem here. So those of you who think that by sitting in a hard back chair but put a pillow behind your low back, you're doing anything different, you're really only fooling yourself, because by putting that pillow behind the low part of your back, what happens there is that the shoulders are going to go back against the couch or the chair, and means your head's going to be leaning forward, the waist is going to be bending there as you're sitting there for long periods of time, and that's causing your back pain. So the thing to think about it, if my head and I'm getting the hump in my back, the pain, yes, is on the back side. The cause is in the front of your neck and the outside of your chest here. If you're getting pain in the lower back when you stand up or when you stand for long periods of time, I get the pain is on the back. Everybody's going to go to the low back. The problem's coming from the muscles in the abdominal area, the muscles on the front of your hips, the muscles on the front of your thighs, because all day long, or for the majority of the day, you're in a seated position. And then when you're walking, your knees start to hurt, your feet start to hurt. Well, if your knees can't straighten out because the muscles on the backside of your leg are tight, now what happens is you put a tremendous amount of pressure on the shins of the front of your leg, which is going to create knee pain underneath the kneecap and also pain down in your feet. Now, we're all trained how to treat each of those pains. But my point here is, everybody, is that understand what's causing the pain. It's not the site of the pain. And that's the thing that's frustrating for most health professionals when they're dealing with muscles. When you're dealing with muscles, the site of the pain is very rarely the cause of the pain. Always keep that in mind. You are balancing front to back, side to side, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if a muscle on the front side gets tight, the pain on the back side will increase. When it comes to things like your disc and your joints, people will talk about bone on bone, or this vertebrae is causing this disc to bulge or whatever. Keep this in mind. The only thing that can put pressure on any part of your body are your muscles. Think of a person who's a quadriplegic. They're laying on the bed. They have the same bones you have. They will never have a bulging disc, a herniated disc, or a pinched nerve, because there's no pressure. Bones do not move without the muscles. If they did, that person who's a quadriplegic would stand up and walk away. Can't be done. Never forget that. And so when you have a pain, understand that that pain, the cause of that pain, is 99 and 9/10% of the time going to be coming from the opposite side of the body. And if you can remember that, you can stop a lot of things, a lot of aches and pains that you have in your life. And I don't care if you're 80 or 90 years old. So there are a few stretches you can do. I'll put some videos down below for the outside of the chest, the front of your neck, the front of your hips, and the front of your thighs and your calves. There's about 5 there I'll put down there for you. Follow those stretches, send me some comments, let me know how it's working for you, and if you need some more help, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Don't forget, subscribe down below, ring the bell, and please, please send me comments. If it doesn't work for you, tell me. Maybe we can modify it to help you with that. But I'm telling you, if you can get this and understand this, and I've seen this hundreds of times, you're going to be amazed at how your body will change, and you are in control of that. So for now, see ya. I hope you enjoyed this last video. Be sure to click on the video here to my left and enjoy.